Not Mad by True Serendipity. Read by My Lost and Found. Summary. Peter messed up. May found out that he's Spiderman, and now she's going to find out that he's trans too. This fic is about 1,000 words and one chapter. It's the second part in the Transgender Peter Parker series. And this fic was recorded for Voiceteam 2025 for the challenge Store-Bought Gender. As always, link to the fic is in the description, and on with the story. Ella. Peter's head shut up. He felt like a deer caught in headlights. His eyes certainly rivaled that of one. His leg bounced incessantly as he fiddled with his sweaty fingers. Ella, please, just tell me what's going on, his aunt pleaded. He refused to meet Aunt May's eyes, instead darting his gaze nervously to the floor. Please, sweetie, I'm Spiderman, he gasped out. I'm Spiderman. May's lips pressed into a firm line. Why, honey, please explain this to me. I know I'm a girl. I'm not a man, but No, Ella. I mean, how did this happen? How did you get your powers? Peter blinked, his eyes filling with tears. He sniffed pathetically. I got bit by a radioactive spider. May let out a watery laugh, leaning back into the couch. Of course you did. You're my niece. Of course you got your freaky mutant powers in the weirdest way possible. I'm being serious, Peter shot, wincing as his voice cracked. God, he really needed to go back on tea soon. I believe you, May reassured, reaching out a hesitant hand and placing it on his shoulder. It's a lot to take in, Al. I know. It took a while for me to adjust to it. He let out a short, weak laugh. I mean, getting sick for an entire weekend and then waking up being able to climb walls? It took some getting used to, he admitted quietly. Both Parkers sat in silence. The tick-tick-ticking of the clock over the front door added to Peter's rapidly worsening headache. May took a shaky breath. Peter held his and said, What's with the whole man thing? A tear dripped down Peter's face, and he barked out a sob. He hid his face in his hands. Ella, you're okay, honey. I'm not mad. May's voice was suddenly full of concern, and she shifted closer to her nephew, throwing an arm around him and tugging him into her side. Can you please just tell me what's going on with that? Peter trembled and turned to press his face into May's shoulder. If you're into the whole cross-dressing thing, I'm totally fine with that, she said, albeit a bit frantically. Are you worried about being assaulted or something? No, none of that, he said shakily. Then what is it? Hun, please, you've got to tell me. I'm trans, he yelled, pulling away. He swiped his tears away and backed up, pulling his feet so he could bury his face in his knees. I'm trans, and I didn't want to tell you because you were still upset about Ben, and I just couldn't deal with it. I'm sorry. I understand if you're upset with me, or if you'll hate me, or... Ella, deep breaths. Come on, May instructed, her hand spread out on his back. Peter sucked in a weak gasp of air, then another, and then another. That's it. Just breathe, honey. You're okay. I'm not mad. You're not? May looked offended. Of course not. Ella, I'm bisexual. How could I be mad? You're what? Bisexual. Bi. Whatever you kids call it. I like chicks and dudes. Peter gasped. Honey, you look like a fish out of water. May chuckled weakly. I'm just a little surprised, is all. I didn't know you were. May rubbed his back. It was pretty frowned on when I was growing up, so I was never too open about it. It's still frowned on, he muttered. More than it is now, she corrected herself. No one at school's giving you shit for it, right? I mean, there's always a couple that won't leave me alone, but it's fine. They're not a big deal. Hun, if they're harassing you for your orientation, that's a huge deal. She frowned. My gaydar must suck. How'd I miss this? It's not your fault, he assured, mumbling into his legs still. I'm not too open about it either. Still, she sighed. Why do you keep this from me? I thought, after the whole Stark internship thing, I thought we were past this. I was gonna come out to you at some point. I was already out to Ben. We were gonna tell you, but then he left, and I didn't want to stress you out even more. Thank you for being considerate, she said. I'm happy you're being honest. Another bout of silence fell over the two. Peter. Huh? My name. It's Peter. Peter, she tried, then smiled. It suits you. I'm guessing you use male pronouns? He nodded and lifted his head to look up at her. May had a rare, unteasing smile on her face. She brought him in for a hug, running her hands through his sweaty hair and rubbing his back. I'm sorry I didn't know, and I'm sorry for misgendering you. It's not your fault, he insisted. And now you know. Yep, she said, popping the pea. The two stayed like that for a minute or two, Peter relishing the rare contact with his aunt. May pulled back and bopped him on the nose. He scrunched his face up. She giggled. Now go on. You need a shower. You reek. Whose idea was it to sit me down right after patrol and have a lengthy heart-to-heart? He reminded her, standing to gather his mask and leave for the bathroom. She smirked. Shower first, mister. Then you can insult me. Peter rolled his eyes, but complied nonetheless. After he closed the bathroom door behind him, he shimmied out of his suit. He turned the faucet to its hottest setting, the tension in his head slowly ebbing away as steam fogged up the mirrors. Despite his best efforts to force it down, a smile found its way onto his face. His eyes welled up with tears, happy tears, not the tears of panic and pent-up negative emotions he'd been shedding just 5 minutes ago. He wiped them away and started washing away the day's sweat, dirt, and grime. God, he was lucky he had such a supportive aunt. And that is all for this fic. I am always a fan of fics where a character is trans, and well, specifically, I only tend to like fics where a character is trans towards the gender that they're portrayed in media. So it's just like, oh yeah, they're exactly the character that we knew. They're also trans. They are this guy or whatever, but they just happen to be born like in a female body, and it's just so nice. I love it. It makes me feel warm and fluffy inside, and it's like, yes, relatable. I love it. Well, the one-to-one relatable. I'm non-binary, not like Peter in the story from one like set binary to another in the public consciousness, whatever you want to say. But it's nice. There's not enough representation in like media out there, so that's what like fan fiction is for, though. You get the little pieces of yourself that you don't see often enough, and it's so nice. And this was just so nice. Nice little heart to heart, like realistic. It's like, ooh, yes, heartwarming. I could see that happening. I love it. And anyway, yeah. So this fic was PODFIC for Voiceteam 2025 for the challenge Store-Bought Gender, which is basically, recording a PODFIC with a character who is, like, the POV main character is not cis, basically, like trans or non-binary or whatever. And I've had this fic on my to-pod list for a while, so it was lovely to get the opportunity to do it here. And yeah, this is the second part, and this is the second podfic I'm recording for this series, but I actually recorded the third one first for a different Voiceteam challenge. I'm just waiting to see, I guess, now what I could do that'll fit the first one. But, I'll be putting these out in proper order, so anyway, from the future there, you'll know. I don't know yet, though. But anyway, that is all for this time. As always, link to the fic in the description. Go leave a kudos. Go leave a comment for the original author. Whatever you can. I'm sure they appreciate it. And I will see you guys next time.